Yo, what is up, everybody, and welcome back. This is Chalkcast 108, and it is a special episode because we are so back. Raleigh Major Open 4, and it's NA RLCS weekend, so we are going to give you guys a full rundown of our predictions. We do this, or we have done this on the Patreon previously, but we've got three members with Garrett now, Mr. Captain America, that is actually also interested in some RLCS. So we thought, let's try and do some predictions live with all of us and with you guys as well. And yeah, see how it goes. Welcome.
Yeah, Garrett, you watch RLCS sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Also, I didn't know Rizzo completely. I thought it was more of like you guys are the only ones talking. I didn't know Rizzo could just completely skip those prediction episodes. That's kind of funny. Just you two showing up. I watched a bit.
I mean, it wasn't really into it. So we didn't want to make him do it. So he preferred to be the CEO and run a flash sale.
Sense.
So we're trying to get Rizzo to stick to what he's good at. It's always better to focus on what you're good at in life. So
that's good.
Yeah, Rizzo's very good at flash sales on the Patreon, which is now done. PSA. If you do buy the Patreon now, it will be full price. The flash sale is over. You missed it. But how many people bought it, CJ?
Flash sale. Oh, we had nearly 150 new patrons. So welcome everybody.
Outrageous.
For the live viewers as well, I feel like the audio changes every time. So let me know. I might be more quiet looking at my levels, but I'll try and adjust early on for people. I know there was a few comments. I've fixed up the transitions. There's no more noise. That was annoying for the audio listeners. I realized that when I'm flicking between scenes and it's going boosh. Yeah, I'm a bit quiet. I can try and I can work on that.
Yeah, we'll try and improve that for the next the next sentence. Let's just keep trying. That's all we do over here. We just keep trying. But yeah, we want to do the the predictions with Garrett, which is good because when CJ and I did it, having just two people, you don't get a deciding vote all the time. It's not ideal. It's much better with three. Yeah, you're not sure, so you have to kind of just go with whoever's more confident. But yeah, now we won't have that problem. If we have to over two and one, there'll be a decider.
Yeah, I think we'll just see how we go. If this goes well, we'll do each week as a bit of an extra live thing. Maybe it won't be a full ep if people don't love it, but we'll try and make it as audio. I know we've got a lot of audio listeners as well on Spotify and things like that, so we'll try and make it as audio friendly as possible, going through each team, each roster. And great question, Jake. Can we rank the decals? We have just released our latest Patreon. Is this guy a paid actor? We've just released our bonus episode, which is number 90, I believe. Yeah, no, 91. Which is our esports decal tier list. Not only do we rank the 12 decals, which took a long time for all 12 of them. We also gave our thoughts on the current, the decal situation. I know that some of you in the Discord are asking for our thoughts. Obviously, the K Corp have been quite vocal, so we do talk about that. We might gloss over it after our predictions in this episode as well. But make sure you check out patreon.com/chalkcast or !chalked. That'll probably work. There you go. But yeah, Garrett, what are your thoughts? Open 4, split 2 now, NA. This weekend, what's the vibes like? Especially, you've got a bit of skin in the game as well.
I mean, my thoughts. I mean, I'm not worried about them. I think Dan Beastman and Atomic will be fine. I'm just hoping that Gingy or Shopify don't scam us out of that matchup. Like if one of them lose round 1, I'm just gonna be mad that we don't get to watch that regional 1. That's what I'm hyped for, to be honest. That Gingy Shopify matchup, I'm gonna be tuned in, 100%. It's like the most drama we've had in a matchup. And the most recent few years, I feel like I'm ready for that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Is it drama though? Is it drama or is it
which match?
Not drama. It's not. It's just like a 1-for-1 trade. Like that's. I'm making it drama in my head. It's you don't want to lose.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose to your old team or the person that replaced you, and you got both. So it's like,
which match is it, Garrett? It's like upper round 2, isn't it? So it's to qualify for top 8. So wait, if they both make it into that match, they both qualify now. You don't drop down. Is that how that works now, or do you need to win one?
No, one more.
Oh, you gotta win one more.
You drop down, so you have to win to qualify now. Like you can't end your day on a loss and make it to the next day.
Oh, right.
Which is a way better change, in my opinion. Yeah, Gingy's got to beat Power Rangers, and then Rebellion's got to beat Strictly Business.
Yeah, and say what you said yesterday or the other day, Garrett. You're like, I swear, Shopify, like, they have to win the first round. You already assume that Gen G are winning the first round, but you're worried about the boys. You're worried about the boys not making it to that second round.
Well, I mean, we did go to Game 5 with Shopify, so that's why I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah,
we won't
you had a little skip in your step, actually, when we were recording yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the Strictly Business team too is going to be harder than. I mean, Power Rangers aren't bad. They're a group of like upcoming young mechanical guys, but I think Strictly Business are going to be more of a threat in like a round 1 matchup. So that's why I'm a little bit more worried about Shopify. I have faith in Gen G winning their first round. More so than that one.
We'll get into that when we jump into the predictions in a second. We've also got the some other regions on this weekend, which we will go through after our North America. We'll kind of, I guess, if this goes well, if you guys really enjoy doing the predictions along with us, and we don't just stick it on the Patreon again, each week we'll do NA. This week, next week we can do EU. And then we'll also cover the other regions at the end, which will probably be more of like a power rankings predictions rather than going through each match like we will here. So this weekend we have MENA, I believe, Johnny, you were saying, and...
Yeah, I think it's MENA, isn't it?
It looks like it's MENA. Yeah, it's MENA, and...
Yeah, it's MENA.
Is it SSA? APAC?
I think so.
SSA, yeah.
Wait. SSA. And OCE, right?
Oh, yes, and OCE. Yeah,
OCE?
that is true. I am also working this weekend. That's very cool. Yeah, OCE.
Are you working? You're working the show.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. OCE
tomorrow.
as well. Yeah, OCE this weekend. So make sure you tune into that. EUCM APAC is the other cycle. There we go. So we'll chat about those at the end. But I guess is there any other things we need to cover before we jump into predictions?
I think that's it. We'll go through the teams as we go. So if you're not familiar with a team, don't worry. We'll fill you in on who's playing on that roster, and then we'll just work through it.
Let's hop over there, which is just already set up and ready to go. Shout out to @CodyVRL. I think you can see him on this page, who is the new spreadsheet king. Used to be Adam Core back in the day, but Cody V has absolutely dominated the spreadsheets over on our Patreon as well. He's a superstar. Make sure you check his links out @CodyVRL on Twitter if you want to make your own. But transition sound was still there. You're telling me that I can't hear it, but you can? Okay. Well, let's try and not transit. We won't bounce back and forth too much. We'll stay over here. Apologize. We did just transition though for the audio listeners to our prediction sheet. So we've got the same format as last time. It is 2 groups of 8. 2, 4, 6. Yep, that makes sense. We got a top 16, 2 groups of 8, trying to make it through to the top 8 main event on the weekend. And first glance at the groups, there's no group of death, is there? It's pretty even.
It looks pretty good. Bruno did okay here. The classic like Bruno scams have been occurring where somebody goes 9-0 and doesn't top the Swiss, but I mean that's just a typical Bruno at this point.
Classic. Absolute classic Bruno. I'm still annoyed that transition, you guys can hear it. All right, let's get into the predictions then. I guess we can go through each group. Like Group A, Gen G, Power Rangers, Rebellion, Strictly Business, Ultimates, Sim Talk, Space Station, and Evo. And then on the other side, Group B, Complexity, Deleted, Pirates, 9 Lives, NRG, What's Up, The Boys, and Nah. So we'll kick it off with Group A. Gen G Power Rangers. Gen G, as Garrett mentioned, have had a roster move. It is Justin in for Reddles. Thoughts on that move already? We've already had a quick look at them. Honestly, I hate to say it, but they look pretty good.
Yeah, they look good. That didn't seem like... I think they went to 1 Game 5 on the Swiss qual, but besides that, it looked like a pretty good transition for them.
Yeah, but... I feel like Justin.
That,
yeah, Justin looks
when
comfy.
They look bad, so when they look good, are you thinking that's bad? Do you think they're going to directly oppose each other? Because people talked about the trade being a win-win for both teams, or potentially a win-win for both teams. But is that the way you're feeling when you watch them play? Obviously, you want to see Justin do well, but you're not too well. You guys have played against former teammates many times. Is this one of those situations where it feels like a former teammate? are you watching your former team
Feels
play?
Feels like I'm watching my ex with a hotter man at the moment. But you know, I think the floor. I think like the ceiling is probably higher. You know, well, individually, I think there's no one saying that Reddles. I think it's hard to argue that Reddles is better than Justin individually. I think like that's the consensus. You know, everyone's happy with that. But in terms of, you know, where the team's floor is, I think Reddles just raises a team's floor in terms of consistency. Justin, does he bring that structure to a team? Probably not. I don't think he's ever really brought that to a team, but he does, Garrett, as you'd know, bring the I can probably carry this team, and I think their ceiling is higher. Do they need a higher ceiling? Maybe. Not to win a regional. They won it last time with Reddles, but they probably aren't. They're probably more of a threat on LAN, I guess you can say now with Justin.
Yeah, I would think so. It's been a while since Justin's been in a LAN, but yeah, I think that Regional 3 win, you're not counting on that type of run happening again. So I think they want to be able to, you know, they had some stacked groups first two regionals. I think they want to not be able to have to blame, oh, we had a stacked group, you know, like unlucky. You know, they want to just be, they want to be the best team in the stacked group. And I think that's what they're trying to do with the change.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would agree with the Reddles comment. I think their floor is up a little bit. I think for Shopify, it's going to be a longer. It feels like it's going to be a longer growing pain compared to GarrettG slotting Justin in. I think I could tell that Reddles is trying to change like a lot of their tendencies and stuff, and they would kind of just they would go back and forth between the two play styles almost. It felt like, and I think it's going to take a while to change two pieces and parts. You know, you're changing your instincts. That's a little bit hard. But I think he can do it. I think it's possible, but it'll take a little time, I think.
Well,
you never know. They're at a boot camp. It sounds like
they are boot camping this week. We'll get into that matchup. But Power Rangers, this first one for GarrettG. Power Rangers, Darklight, Hexic, and Mech. I think Shopify played them last week. This should be a win though for GarrettG. Getting through here, I think we're expecting. I mean, as I said, you know, the X is looking so hot right now. I don't like it, but I think they're going to start well. I think I'm probably just going to say they sweep this one early days. I don't see it going any other way.
I read that.
Not a crazy call.
This one's a little bit closer, as you mentioned before, Garrett. We got Shopify, we've got Reddles, the new girl on the block, and we've got Strictly Business, which is Crispy, Ixo, and Aris. Now, Strictly, Johnny, you were pretty hot on them.
Yeah.
Aris in this time.
Yeah, I mean, they had Simas and they had some good results last split, but they also had some really bad results. And no, they didn't have a good record against Rettles, especially with their Crispy, Simas, Ixo rosters. So there's something there. Yeah, something there for Shopify. But yeah, Aris is an interesting player. He's had some pretty high peaks, but very inconsistent. Sounds kind of like a little bit like Shopify. So this could go anywhere, CJ. I don't know. I don't know. What did they do in the Swiss? What did Strictly do? They do anything?
They only lost to Space Station Game 5, and then they beat
great form. That's great form.
And Glampers.
Oh,
yep. They did 9-0 everyone else. It's looking a bit scary, CJ. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, and Shopify Rebellion on the other hand got swept by Evo, Team Evo, which is another English or another EU based team. So that doesn't look great, but can I convince you on a Game 5 Shopify Rebellion absolute disaster fest to get through to the GarrettG matchup?
I mean, I'm okay with that. I think Game 5 sounds very Shopify. I'll give you the 3-2.
Thank you very much. We've got Ultimates. We know what they're looking like the most informed team at the moment, coming off a pretty darn good major in Birmingham. And Sim Talk, which is Sim Talk +1, which was Talk. What were they called? Tech was Talk Tour.
This was Talk. Talk nearly just gave up on the split. He said, "Nah, can't be bothered playing this one." And then all of Twitter were like, "Nah, you should play it." And he's like, "Okay, I'll play it." Now here he is.
Fine, I'll play.
Okay, I'll play it. It didn't take a lot of convincing. You really didn't. But I'm glad he's playing it. I think it's going to be good for him to play it, and yeah, we'll have to see if they're going to go well. But yeah, the whole roster it's one of those rosters I just think they've got potential, but I'm not expecting like massive things from them. I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I think
this roster. Sim talk.
This is a thrown together roster, which could help that they, I mean, it's kind of worked for that other team called Gas that seemed to keep upsetting teams whilst not scrimming. But I think Ultimates are just, they seem to just wipe these teams pretty easily. I can't see it.
Yeah.
Can't see it not being a sweep. So, but Sim Talk, we'll see how they go. But they need a bit more time probably to scrim and practice. This is going to be a match though. Space Station, which was the big inclusion, or the Frosty gone, Kofa in. On that team from last split, and Team Evo, which, as we said, the Shopify Rebellion Destroyers will be taking them on. Evo, Relating Wave, Speed, and Arju, so that team has stayed the same.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, this is a good test for Space Station, because Evo have a high floor, They're like they're actually just like a flat team. I feel like their floor and ceiling is the same. They're just, what you're going to get with them. They're going to play solid 2017 rock.
They're just a bungalow, They're just like a one-story building. The floor and the ceiling really aren't that far apart.
What do you reckon?
I mean, surely SSG win this. I think they do, because Evo are solid, but SSG with the new roster, they've got so much. I think they're going to be so locked in for this because they know they have to prove it. Then again, though, is the pressure too much? Are Evo in the perfect mindset again where they don't care?
Nah, we have to back Space Station in, don't we? I want to say 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah, I think Space Station takes it. It is an annoying first match for them. You're just playing the most high floor, team off the rip. So if you're a little nervous, I could see it. I think it'll either be like a 3-0 wipe or a Game 5 either way. I'm not going to lie. I think Space Station either destroys them or they're a little off and Evo takes a little close. But I'm leaning towards the Space Station 3-0 or 3-1 myself.
They're frustrating, Evo. Okay. Like, there's no basement. They're kind of like, those houses on the water that are on stilts. But that's just like a one-story house. So they don't. They just play. They play the same. They're frustrating. It's a perfect team to play Shopify Rebellion. I'm glad we're not playing them again, but we might down in the lower bracket. Speaking of, let's hop down there. Actually, or do you want to finish uppers? Finish upper semis?
Yeah, do uppers. Let's do uppers. Let's see.
Yeah.
So we can see what the matchup's going to be.
Okay, here we go. Gen G versus Shopify Rebellion, probably the matchup of Friday, the one everyone wants to see. Justin versus Reddles. I guess you guys have more of a swing than me.
I guess.
I guess, and there's probably chat as well. You guys can dive into this one.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm definitely like heavily leaning Gen G. I really think there'll be a lot of pressure on this match, though. That might almost even it up a little bit. I'm gonna go a content prediction a little bit, just because I do think there is a lot more pressure than I think people think when you're like playing your old teams and stuff. I'm gonna go 3-2 win for Gen G. I think it could go 5, just because it's a classic.
3-2 win for Gen G. I mean, yeah, it could happen. I'm thinking 3-2 is likely. I think it's gonna go Game 5 as well, and not just for content. I do think that's likely. And yeah, I think you have to back Gen G. I do agree. Sorry, CJ. I would love to give you the deciding vote, knowing that it's not really a deciding vote. It's like a decided vote.
Yeah, thanks.
Gen G have they've been a little bit better in qualifying. They've been a bit stronger in Swiss, and they've got to back him.
Yeah, I'll back the boot camp in. I think the boys can do it, but I hope it's Game 5. I hope it goes to Champ Field and we get some content. I hope that when the series finishes, there's still a debate based on who won the trade. Like, it's like, but there wasn't a great win. Like, whoever team wins. But we'll see. I'll give you that one though, Gen G.
On that though, I should say that people are going to overreact immediately. Whoever wins this is obviously there could be overreactions, but like even after the whole event is done, like the trade is still not clear. You've got to wait until more than one event. But I'm probably going to be adding fuel to the fire on that. I can't really say too much.
I really think Shopify is going to age well too. I think they need a little bit more time, so I think that's not a bad.
I think it's probably more of a like a play style switch. I feel like Gen G now with Justin, kind of it's like more of a release the brakes and like just kind of play, just see what happens. Like trust the mech. Whereas Rebellion's like, don't trust the mech, stop trusting the mech. We need structure. So yeah, that might take a bit longer, but we'll see. There's no seeding matches as well, as you guys can see. We usually have one more, but that's just straight through this time. So we're going to skip those for this split. Bit of a change. Ultimate taking on Space Station is our second upper semi. Oh, this is like hard. How much do you trust this new Space Station? Because they could upset them.
Absolutely.
They could.
I think this will be... If Space Station makes it to the first match, obviously that we've predicted, I think I'm kind of leaning towards Space Station in this because I don't think... It's almost like one of those situations where I think if they ran into Ultimates again later in the tournament, I would almost lean Ultimates. But I think if Space Station starts off good, they're going to have so much momentum, and they're a new team.
Really?
I personally want to go Space Station.
That's interesting. Okay, if you're going Space Station, I'm going Ultimates because of the confidence from the major. That's like what I'm thinking. Is
that's fair.
Confidence from the major, so that they're just going to be, even if they start badly here, they know they can come back and win. But okay, CJ, now you do have a deciding vote on this one.
Thank you for that. Okay, this is going one of two ways. I think Ultimates are the better team, and if it's just like a normal matchup, I think Ultimates, this is like a 65-35 to Ultimate 60-40 sort of match. But I think Space Station coming into this, given it's only Friday, will be more excited to play Ultimates than Ultimates will to play. Like, Ultimates like, gotta play these kids.
Yeah.
Whereas Space Station like, new roster, oh my god, like, this is our chance to, you know what I mean? Whereas Ultimate's like, God, it's Friday. Like, guys, go away. You're annoying me. So I can see Space Station being more, and we do talk about the optimal level of arousal a lot here on Shortcast.
We do.
And I think that Space Station will be optimally aroused for a Game 5 win. So we're going the upset, throw Ultimates down there.
Wow, okay. Bold call.
I'm backing in the captain on this one. He's got the NA knowledge.
No, I think you hit it on the head. I think it's going to be they'll be hungrier. And Ultimates, I feel like it's a common trend with some NA teams is like after they do well, they need a little wake up series, and then they'll be fine though. I don't think there's anything to worry about for Ultimates, but that's what I could see happening in the mentals at least.
Ultimates could sweep.
I mean, all Ultimates have to do to bounce back is they're just gonna say, nah, like that match doesn't mean anything. They're cringe, and then they're gonna reset. Like they're just gonna call them cringe. I believe that they're cringe.
There you go.
And then mentally reset.
I feel like Garrett's seeing this matchup, as a former, more experienced team coming against these kids, that are just so annoying. They play with no fear, and you're like, where's the respect?
Cringe.
That's what I'm seeing from this. Where's the respect? We just dominated a major. We just carried North America outside of the final, and now you're coming up and you're beating us. I think that's annoying, and I think they can do it. But Ultimates could sweep. I know there's some people that aren't happy with that prediction, but you gotta throw a couple upsets in there. We'll see. Lower bracket time. Power Rangers, Strictly Business. I think Strictly Business are a better team. Can I convince you on a win?
Yeah, I think so. Strictly Business, they're a solid team. So, definitely not going to be surprised if they win that one.
Yeah. We're happy.
Garrett?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Eris will actually fit well in that team because he's a player that when his team's like really aggressive, that's when he's good. Like he likes to go for insane stuff the whole time. And every time I see Strictly Business play, they're doing the weirdest kickoff strats. They're pre-jumping each other. They're just aggressive. So I think I have them taking that series 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. That's nice. I like it. I like the analysis. Sim Talk +1, Evo. Give me Evo all day, baby. This house on stilts will not lose in the lower quarterfinals. They could, though. Didn't they go top 4 and then bomb out the next event when we had speed?
Yeah, they missed. Did they miss a regional or did they? Yeah, they missed a regional.
They missed. Yeah, sure. That's bad. Not this time. They're through and they're gonna win. I'm gonna say the lack of practice versus a very high floor team. Evo 3-1.
Yeah, Evo.
I agree.
Perfect.
Again, high floor.
Perfect. Ultimate Strictly Business. Unfortunately for Strictly Business, maybe another bracket, but they've got the hardest team in lowers now with this upset. Yeah, I mean, even if they play Space Station, we're probably picking Space Station, but I think Ultimates are now angry and they... Actually, we give Strictly Business 1. We're happy with a 3-1.
I'm happy with
Yeah,
that.
happy with 3-1. Yeah.
Yep. Unlucky Strictly
You don't mind
Biz.
it?
Oh my goodness, not this. We have to win. We actually have to. We have to beat GenG. No. No, we have to beat GenG. No.
Would this be on the same day, right?
No, yeah, it is.
This is
This
all
is
one
an
day?
absolute disaster
all one day.
matchup. This is a disaster matchup for us.
Yeah, this is annoying.
This couldn't be worse. Like, we're already shaky. We're in the lower bracket. We're one series away now. We've just lost to Justin. And now we have to play the team that not only swept us last week, but just the most annoying team that if we look nervous, we're going to lose. If we make any mistake, they'll punish it. Because that's all they can do. They can't create opportunities. They can only punish. Stop saying Evo 3-1. I see you, Twitch chat.
Yeah, that's a lot of them.
That's a lot of Evo 3-1s.
3-0s and 3-1s. Hey, the people have spoken to each other.
No.
This is the end.
I think Johnny should go first on this one. I want to see what Johnny thinks.
I mean, CJ's not. I'll just say CJ's not convincing me at all. He's not convincing me at all. CJ hates the matchup.
Think about the boot camp though. Think about this week. How productive this week's been.
Okay. What else?
Just the boot camp, really. That's it. I think maybe not losing, but learning from a 3-0 last week. You know.
Yeah.
I think we learned a lot from that.
Okay.
We actually, if you watch the match, we conceded about 7 kickoff goals. Like the close cheat or the fake. I'm not even kidding. Like, one in chat if you watched it. I'm pretty sure 75% of their goals were kickoff goals. So if we have practiced any sort of kickoff, I think we win this. And I'm not even. I know it was a sweep.
Okay.
This might sound like copium, but I think we win if we don't concede kickoff goals.
Okay, so you reckon they're in the lab learning kickoffs?
Have I changed anyone's mind in chat or here on the panel?
I want to give, okay, obviously you're saying Shopify. Garrett, you haven't voted yet, have you?
No, I can go first if you want me to. But
no, I want to make you decide.
I want to make me the tiebreaker.
I think Evo will win.
You think Evo win? I think Shopify take a game 5.
Oh.
I have faith. But I think it's going to be one of the most stressful days. They've gone to 3 game 5s in one day, but I think they'll squeak it out in a game 5.
Tell me we get.
But I'm not crazy sold on it. I think it's going to be like if they lose a GenG, I wish I could see the mindset going into the next match. Like I wonder how well they'll bounce back from that. But I have them game 5. I think they'll make it. I believe in the JNAP's co-coaching in person at the boot camp as well. You know, he's always a good vibes guy. So that's what I'm gonna go.
Kev Dog is Evo's manager and has just given a prediction for SR, saying they've had our number apart from last week. Come on now, give me a game 5, Johnny. Change your prediction.
I mean,
full confidence.
I might vote it. It's a 2-1 anyway.
Yeah, so but I still want your vote of confidence.
Official.
Now you've been change.
No, I'm not confident. I'm not confident. I don't want to change it. I don't
we don't need doubt. This is the worst thing we need on Rebellion. We need confidence from everyone.
No, we don't want to curse them. We don't want to curse them, right? That would be even worse.
That's what Kev Dog's trying to do. He's just trying to jinx it.
Oh, Kev
He's trying to curse it. Yeah, he's trying to curse it.
I will call you out.
He's gonna call you out.
What?
What's he calling you out?
All right, we're going game 5. Rebellion goes through. God, what a bracket. We've game 5. I don't know if there's much confidence in Rebellion right now. But
it's a long day.
Yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
That's what happened last week. But look, we've got GenG Space Station through in the upper bracket. They'll have a second chance. Ultimates and Rebellion in the lowers. We'll find out what that does to the main event once we get through number B, Group B. Over here we have Complexity, Deleted, Pirates, 9 Lives, NRG, What's Up, The Boys, and Nah. Kicking it off with Complexity taking on Deleted. Complexity, Garrett, interesting lineup. We've got the Frosty acquisition, Raiseball back to South America, taking on Deleted, who have not changed since last time and looked pretty solid.
Yeah, Complexity went 3-0. Sorry, I was just pulling up the Swiss really quick. They didn't really have any crazy matches. No, they had a good win versus the Boys, who looked good. I don't know. I'm actually really hyped to watch this team because they're kind of going on the radar. I don't think a lot of people are talking about them, but I'm gonna go complexity 3-1. I feel like Deleted kind of lost some steam at the end of last split. Like they got a top 4 off the rip, and then it just kind of slowly got worse. And I don't think they're beating complexity here, to be honest. I don't think they're gonna take it. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. 3-1. And nothing to add. Just a great piece of analysis by Garrett Gordon there.
That was, I mean, this is why we bring him on. But I don't know if you guys watched the complexity much of the Swiss. I think I watched them play Cobalt, the game 5. I think they were trolling the Swiss complexity. Like they were like 2 goals down and nearly they scored like 3 goals in 10. They were like, okay, let's try now. And I saw them flick a switch and it was scary. Like they look really good.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
They genuinely
the match?
They were like 2 goals down with 12 seconds left, and they nearly won in regulation. Like they had a 0-second chance. They scored 2, and then nearly. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know it was ridiculous. But so I think they've got a lot of confidence. This team. I think they were trolling last week because they were so confident, and I'm confident they can win. I think they nearly even sweep this, but we'll go 3-1. We'll give Deleted 1.
Well, frosty trolling is like that's like the number one thing they're trying to avoid, isn't it?
Yeah, stop trolling in Swiss. They were
that's the last thing they want to have happen.
Yeah, they win that. But Deleted, give them their flowers. They, have the experience. They got the runs on the board as a roster, and they looked pretty good. BS had a couple of top 6s to start off last split, so they were around. Pirates taking on 9 Lives. Are there any changes?
This will be a good one.
Teams?
I'm actually excited to watch this match. 9 Lives.
Oh, obviously 9 Lives. Yeah.
Yeah. No one's talking about the 9 Lives team. I think that the Chicago and Hawkser duo has been kind of criminally underrated because they had LJ, who looked like a top 5 player in NA. Then they got Kofer, who looked like a top 5 player in NA. But like, surely there's a trend a little bit with the teammates, maybe like playing with these guys. But no, I think Zanil isn't the type of player you think that will play like Kofer. But I think this team will be underrated. I think they'll be solid. But Pirates are coming off a good 3rd regional too. But I think I'm gonna go 9 Lives. I think it'll be a game 5. But I actually have faith in the Chicago Hawkser duo. If they had an org, they would have been a top runner for all of these prospects. They just had no org. So it's just like they had to get, who didn't find an org. But if they were like in Shopify's shoes with the org, they would have had a lot better of chances for players like Justin and all of them, I think. So I think they're a little underrated right now. So I'm gonna go 9 Lives.
I'm looking at their run. They beat Lil Step Bros. They lost to the Boys, which is Parsi, Evo, and Aqua, and then they beat the Lemons. What are these teams? Teams are playing team names. Then they beat Evo. So that's a good win. It's a very good win actually to win against Evo. That shows a high. Have to have a high floor to beat them. But are you worried about the loss to the Boys? Do you think that's a bad loss for 9 Lives to take?
No, I think that's a solid team. And in Swiss, I remember last Swiss they would lose to Omelette a lot. I think they lost to Omelette like twice. So maybe Percy just has their number in Swiss or something. But no, I actually think the boys are gonna be solid too. I don't know why, but in my head, Aqua and Evo are a great duo. They're just
yeah.
I don't know.
It sounds
like
good.
A very
it
mechanical.
In ranked, you're coming up against that. You're thinking, ooh.
Yeah, I'm about to get quintuple flip reset on, but nah, I don't think that loss is a big deal, especially with the 3-0 against Evo.
Well, I'll go. You haven't given your prediction yet, have you, Johnny? Let me hop in here because I think that whilst 9 Lives looked good last split, they've obviously made a move. They also try to make about 8 moves because Hawks are left. It feels like they've kind of just come back to keep the points, the 2/3. Kind of felt like they all spread their wings and now they've come back together. I don't like that. I think Poab looked good. Give me Poab. Give me, Alt Tab. Chicago got stabbed. Call of Duty Moab. Poab in 5, baby. 3-2.
Poab in 5. It's a tough one. Poab are a solid team. They're a very solid team. They've got some good wins. They beat Deleted 3-0 in Swiss just the other day. Only lost to NRG, and then they took down Schnitzelhaus in 5, who didn't actually make it out of Swiss. Schnitzelhaus. Who's Schnitzelhaus? What is this team name? Who are these guys? Oh, it's Line Blaze.
should
Sai
don't
and
know.
okay, they've got Sai on the team, so I guess Sai is from Austria. They probably have Schnitzel in Austria, so not a totally random name. Yeah, I mean that's actually a solid team. Panda, Sai, Lion Blaze, very interesting team. So they beat those guys. I want to say Poab as well. I can't just be seen as copying GarrettG right now. We've got to sometimes disagree with him. But yeah, I mean 9 lives is a question mark to me. I don't like that we know about their behind the scenes attempts to change the roster. Because whenever this happens, every time that I know that something like this happens, it affects my predictions. Then the team continues to just do fine. And if I didn't know about that, if I just thought, oh cool, yeah, Chicago and Hawks are sticking together, picking up Zanil, I'd be way more confident in them, and maybe I should be. But yeah, I do like Poab. I think Poab are actually a solid team, so I have to back them off that solid win over Schnitzelhaus.
I will say, I think the only difference between this split is that I feel like Hoxer's motivations might have been like, okay, I know these orgs or these teams with orgs are making a change. I'm gonna announce it so that maybe I can get on an org. Like I don't think it was a maybe I feel like it wasn't very, dramatic or something like that. But I agree. I mean, it is a team. They definitely stay together for the points. I would think, but that'll be a good match. I'm actually hyped to watch that one.
Yeah, I think that 9 lives are kind of the NA Evo in terms of I feel like their floor's pretty high. You see Chicago on the field, you're getting a level. You're getting a certain point. You're getting a nice floor, pretty consistent. So credit to him. I love watching Chicago. Fan. Hopefully they can get the job done, but maybe in the lower bracket. NRG taking on What's Up. Now, who the hell is on What's Up? We actually played them last weekend and I've forgotten. It is Expert, Jazzy, and Devo, not the EU Devo. NRG 3-0.
Devo.
I think we just move on.
NRG 3-0.
The boys. Garrett, your team. What are your thoughts? Taking on Nah.
The boys against Knight, Adam, and Hazo. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the boys here 3-1. I like I said, I don't know why, but in my head, Aqua and Evo are like a perfect duo. Like they both had accusations of like certain issues. Like Aqua's had some playtime issues. Evo's had seems like some comm issues. Apparently, he's a rank X player.
The misfits.
But they're both super mechanical, and they have Percy, who seems like he's just chilling.
Yeah, he's happy.
Guy.
He's here.
Always very solid.
He's loving it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3. It's hard to give a 3-0, but I'm gonna go 3-1.
Yeah, I like it. I think we just go with him there. He's played them in ranked more than us, Johnny. Let's lock that in. I'm an Aqua fan from way back, so I'm always willing to give him the dub. Going over to the upper bracket, Complexity Pirates. Another good game. A good test for Complexity. I think Pirates are a pretty strong team, but I'm going to go Complexity.
Yeah, Complexity.
I agree.
Complexity are going to be strong. I think that anything would have been good for them because they looked like so stale with their previous roster that had already made an attempt in Sam and not really had the best results, and they ran it back and they're like, yeah, why did we do this? Let's make a change.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, Johnny. Oh, sorry, my bad. I was gonna say, I remember you kept saying that you felt like Diaz was so chained. Like I don't understand the word, but I forget what you said. He was so shackled on that team.
He looked so restrained, and I don't think it was their fault. I think sometimes teams just end up not getting the results they expect, and then they try to make too many changes, and now everybody's thinking about what they're doing instead of just playing Rocket League. And
I was gonna say, I think that because Frosty's so mechanical, people might not think about it, but I do think Razewell is way more aggressive than him. So I think that might help Diaz. Because whenever I would watch Space Station, out of all 3 of them, Frosty would be the guy, sitting back a little bit more. So I think that could be. Hopefully, we see a free Diaz. That would be.
That's just such a classic. I'm the best player on the team sort of strat, I reckon. Though, just sitting third man, going, I don't trust these guys. I'm better than them. I'm going to be the last guy. Like, how often do we see the best player on the team be third man? Waiting to be the most mechy guy. I don't like it, but I do like it for Complexity because Diaz can be unleashed. Why can't Diaz in threes go do his signature shot? Like, what's stopping him? Why don't we see it?
The full field air dribble. I mean, the thing is, he should just think about it as less of a shot and more like a clear or a pass. The way that I view it, well, maybe that's just me, but the way I view that play, the off the backboard air dribble in threes, is it's more like just a threat. Whereas in ones, he's trying to score it. So he's thinking, okay, I got to like get all the way across the pitch with a little bit of boost left over, score the ball. But if he thinks of it more like just a pass, and his teammates start seeing it more as a pass, where he's trying to like just outplay one guy and they're already up for the pass, then I think it should work really well in threes. He's the best at that, like the full pitch air dribble.
Yeah.
You should watch what NRG are really good at it in NA. They like to air dribble the ball off the backboard and use it as like a more like a clear, more like a pass. Sometimes Daniel will go the full pitch, but
I just want to say, I disagree with obviously there's more defenders. Like obviously it's gonna be like, but still, going straight down the middle.
You also have teammates.
But usually you defend like first guy's challenging you because usually he's going from kind of not in the corner, like he's going off the like straight off the back wall, but off to the side. Usually the first defender's trying to chow from like the side wall. You know what I mean? Like, or coming off the side wall. If he just goes straight down the middle, I think that's still really awkward to defend. Like, even to challenge.
Super awkward to defend.
And if you just beat one,
no efficient challenge with a fast recovery. It's like a great play in threes.
Yeah. I want to just let him go.
It could be a lot simpler of an issue than we think. Like, I feel like as soon as he gets momentum, he's gonna keep going. Yeah, it's just I feel like he hasn't had like a huge breakout moment yet.
No.
But as soon as he gets like a really good win or just like a really, really good series, I think he'll start to build.
He could have like a Seiko sort of regional. You know what I mean? Where we're like, oh my god.
He could.
Where he just dominates.
Yeah.
There should be no ping. Good. We'll see. I think 3-2 though. I think it's going 5 because I think Palm's a good team, but we'll give it a complexity. NRG taking on the boys.
I think, by the way, Diaz is still playing very, very well, even though I think I'm not
high
like
standard.
being. Yeah. I want to say that I'm being less critical of him than I am, criticizing the community's analysis of him. A lot of people are just saying, "Oh, Diaz isn't dominating, therefore his playstyle's bad." I think that's like really lazy analysis, and actually he is continually improving. And if he just makes more and more tweaks and keeps working on his game, keeps grinding, he's going to be an unbelievable player in threes.
Yeah, there's nothing to be worried about with him.
Love it. NRG versus the boys. I think this will be a fun one. Like this is one where, as you mentioned, Garrett, like they're pretty peaky. The boys, they could show up, but I think a 3-1.
Yeah,
I think NRG still just too good.
Right, and didn't Aqua almost eliminate Energy in Swiss Regional 1?
That does ring a bell.
I think they won the game 5. Was it game? It might have been game 5. No, I don't know. I just remember thinking like, wow, JNAP's got Energy in round 5 of Swiss to miss his first regional. Like, this sucks. But yeah, I would agree. I'm gonna go 3-1 as well.
It was the 2-2 match. Isn't that round 5?
Oh, not a close series, but round 5. Okay. That sounds right.
Yeah, I think they got swept. Pioneers, but they did a pretty unlucky run last split. Deleted versus 9 Lives. We're going to lower bracket now. This is a pretty good series actually. The first one of these guys going out early. Compared to the other one as well, like what's up Nah on one side and Deleted 9 Lives on the other.
True.
Right, that's tough.
Good point.
Why am I thinking 9 Lives? Like, why am I disrespecting Deleted, even though they had a decent split last time?
Yeah,
they did have a decent split, but
I believe in 9 Lives. I think Zanil's underrated. I think the team's underrated. I don't think Deleted's a solid team, but I would personally lean 9 Lives here. Just I don't know. I believe in the team.
So am I, but I don't know why. I feel
like I can't really explain.
I feel like I'm a Deleted hater right now. Like.
They've just been struggling. They've been trending down, and they also, Deleted are 3 really good players. Like Gyro, Andy, and Wavy are all excellent players, but they've been trending in the wrong direction, and they struggled in Swiss. They had a couple of 3-0 losses. They lost to Poab, and they also lost to Schnitzelhaus, the Lion Blaze Psy Parsi team 3-0, which is, they made it out of Swiss with 2 3-0 consecutive wins, but these are teams that they're losing to teams who, if we're going to rank them where, we're talking, they got to be winning those matchups. That's not the matches they should be losing.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Do it. Let's just do it. What's up versus Nah? This is
This is a hard one to predict for
Like
me.
every time I see these, all right, Expert Jazzy, Devo, I have to like look again. What's up? I can never remember who they are. Taking on Nah. I'm gonna back Nah in Adam Knight and Hazo.
I was gonna go what's up.
Oh my
but
god.
I don't really I don't really well this can go either way, to be honest. I'll just go 3-2. What's up?
Nat took GarrettG to 5 in Swiss. That's something.
Yeah, that's a
good
good
enough.
result.
And then What's Up took Shopify to 5,
Shit.
which, as we all know, anyone can do.
True.
Well, hey, Johnny, I can sway you. I can sway you right now. We beat What's Up day 2, so you're gonna predict Nah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, true. How are they here?
Oh wait.
Yeah.
You predicted What's Up though, right?
Yeah, I do.
Respects
I mean,
himself.
but it feels
Man with self-respect.
Respect himself, yeah.
No, we played a lot better that day, but no, the series feels like a 50-50 for me, honestly. I think I'm not really sold on either one.
Yep. Give me 9.
Yeah, I think this is just like there's just like
it
the chance
doesn't
to
matter,
lose
does
to
it?
Pirates.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Pirates win.
Yeah, true.
Surely, right? Pirates, come on.
Yeah,
now.
let's actually already do that. Pirates are winning that 3-1. We're happy with that. We're moving on.
Yeah.
This one though is
Pirates
close.
are blessed here.
Yeah,
Blessed bracket for Pirates.
Actually unreal.
But they deserve it. They beat 9 lives to get this one in our hypothetical.
Yeah, true. The boys, Garrett, I think I'm going to leave this one to you. Are you happy with that, Johnny? I've got no input on this. This is too close.
I'm going 9 lives. I just feel like Chicago and Hawkser look so good against everyone who's not like. Well, I don't think they really look bad once they get to the end of the tournament, but it feels like they go to top 6 every time. Like they never look bad until they start playing, a complexity or an energy or,
Yeah,
like
consistent.
I think they beat GarrettG twice in a row to get top 6 last time. Like they always look good at that point of the tournament. But didn't
they lose
close.
to was it like Strictly Business in the final event last split? They got bottom. Yeah.
The third one was not as good, I would say, but I don't know. I think maybe I'm biased. I got Fire B on the coaching, but I also just rate the Chicago Hawkser duo, and I think, personally seeing Zanil recently, I actually think he's been trending up a little bit. Okay. Although no one ever says that because he's been around for a while, so it's it's hard to get that kind of rep, but I don't know. I think he's solid. I think I'm gonna go game 5, 9 lives.
All right. Well, I'm gonna back in Aqua and leave it to you, Johnny.
I want to go on this one 9 lives.
You're gonna do it.
The boys have just lost.
You are so
They're
stuck
tilted.
in 2004. You are hard stuck thinking about Chicago.
These guys are just tilted out of their brains. The boys are just lost. They're tilted. Momentum for 9 lives in the lower bracket. I think it's going to carry them through.
All right,
they have a good system too. They have a good system. Like they are consistent with their aggression, and so I think that'll kind of that'll carry them a little bit.
All right, Complexity, NRG, 9 lives, and Pirates joining GarrettG, Space Station, Ultimates, and Rebellion. Let's see where this takes us as we scroll down into the main event. GarrettG, NRG, Complexity, Space Station, Ultimates, 9 lives, Pirates, Rebellion. Interesting.
Okay. How do you feel about this bracket? If you saw this bracket, you wake up on, well, it would be Sunday, I guess.
Oh, me?
Stay up late on Saturday. Yeah, CJ, if you looked at this as a Shoppa fan,
I'm loving it.
What do you think about this bracket?
I'm loving it.
You play the loser of Complexity SSG, not the loser of GarrettG Energy.
Well, that's true, actually. I would probably rather play GarrettG again. I think that's obviously fantastic content. I like it. I think I like it.
You think you like it? Okay.
Yeah, I like a Pirates first up. We could have played Ultimates. So, well, actually, we couldn't have. We could have played 9 lives. Nah, it's okay. We'll get through. We'll see how good it is in a second when we get into predictions. Let's do it though. GarrettG, NRG, best of 7 time. Captain, who you got?
GarrettG, Energy. I'm going Energy. I think GarrettG will have better chances to beat teams like Energy now, but I don't think they're doing it Regional 1. I'm gonna go Energy here for like 4-2. This is best 7, right? Yeah. Oh, it says it right there. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna go 4-2.
Yeah.
4-2 BO7 in our first upper quarter final. I like it. Our second upper quarter final is Complexity taking on Space Station. This is the grudge match.
That's
I
a
mean,
banger. Yeah.
come on.
We kind of like all we've been talking about is like the Shopify GarrettG grudge match, but we need to see this as well. We need to see this. This is huge.
Oh, I don't know.
It's an exciting one, man.
I'm gonna say
Complexity.
Complexity.
I don't know.
I'm saying Complexity.
You going Complexity?
I just think they look different, and I'm a massive Raiseball fan. But the one series that I watched last weekend, they look scary. They've got something about them. Complexity, this split have something about them. I'm saying it early. I think they're at the major easy. I'm putting them in.
Do you know who this Chili guy is, CJ, the Australian player Chili from Cobalt Esports?
Yeah, okay. So this is the problem I also have with Complexity, is that Chili is a top 6, like 12 to 16 OCE team kind of player. Like I'm playing him in rank 2s, and he went to 5 with Complexity, and that was hard for me to like look at and try and correlate. Given how bad we're going as a region, to then see Chile nearly beat Complexity, it was tough to watch.
Does that
I feel like they were trolling though. I mentioned it. I think they were trolling. I'm sure they were trolling because they turned it on and scored instantly, like 3 goals. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Not that it matters, but we played that team first, and that guy was moving. I'm not gonna lie.
Chili was moving.
That guy was moving.
It was kind of nice.
Not that it really matters much, but I'm just saying.
He was hauling, was he? God damn. Okay.
Yeah, he was hauling.
Chili was moving.
Okay. Forget about that result then. That's a good win. That's a good win for Complexity.
Quality win. Quality win.
I'm still picking him, man. I'm more confident actually.
No. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go Complexity, but this is 7. It has to be. This has to be.
You think 7?
One or other in 7, I would think. Unless there's some kind of, big sign on day 1. If both of these teams are playing up to, how they should, I think this is 7 either way. But
Johnny is a Space Station fan though, so I think he's leaning SSG.
No, I'm actually thinking Complexity as well right now. Is where I'm leaning here, because SSG should have the peak ability to win this. But I remember I was really on Complexity and SSG to start last split. I picked both of them to make the major, and then SSG kind of disappointed. But yeah, I think Complexity are that team as well. So I'm gonna say Complexity.
Yeah, I'm being kind of hypocritical about it, because you guys asked, do I think Space Station improves from this change? And every time I say yes, but then the more I think about Diaz potentially being freed up more, it makes me want to go Complexity, to be honest. So I don't really know. This is a hard one.
Yep. I think there's something about Complexity. Something about them.
Interesting match.
I think CRR as well is like still a fantastic player.
Oh, absolutely.
And can
for sure
pop off again as well again. This is a tough first round for 9 lives. I know that you guys are massive on Chicago. It's 2004, but I think that they get bopped here. 4-1.
Yeah, they're getting bopped. Sorry, they are getting bopped.
I agree.
This is a boppage.
They're getting bopped.
A bit too much.
Speaking of teams that are going to get bopped, we got Poab down here taking on Rebellion. We're in the best of 7s now. We're on Rebellion. Pretty confident on this one, guys.
No, I'm not confident. I'm not confident, but it's hard because there's just nothing to go off of yet. Like the Swiss, if I'm going off the Swiss, I'm going Poab.
Maybe you just go off that feeling in your gut right now.
The feeling in my gut is that this is going to game 7.
Okay, don't go off the feeling in your gut. Just go off the feeling of how it would feel if they looked good. Rebellion. Go off that feeling.
If they looked good, they're a top 5 team.
If they looked good.
Now.
But that's the problem, is that how often do they look good? I will go Shopify, but I think it's 7, and I think it's going to be quicker than that.
Messy. Yeah, I think Shopify should win this one.
Come on now.
I think they should. Yeah, come on.
It's 7. Oops.
I think they get Poab.
Put a 4 in the wrong spot. It's 7. Though.
And they've just made it through a hard day. Day 2 at boot camp. They're feeling a little bit like, oh, thank God we made it through day 1.
Yep.
So
breathe. Now we get the timeouts. You kidding me? JNAPS with his first timeout in RLCS. You think he's going to cook with that? Him and memory. Imagine the stuff they can talk about in 90 seconds. Come on now.
Yeah. Or they're arguing. They're disagreeing with each other.
Yeah, they might just be arguing.
It could be happening as well.
No, I'm just kidding.
I think this could, that's going to be entertaining. Gen G versus, oh man, this is a tough bracket for Gen G. Glad I'm not up here, guys. I think we maybe should lose. You got NRG into Ultimates.
Yeah, this is hard.
Tough bracket, tough draw.
That's tough.
Not scripted,
tough.
we promise.
Give me Ultimates again. There's no way. They're not that, Garrett. Don't say they're not that good.
Really?
They can't be that good. Ultimates just, what do you mean? Ultimates just got to the top 2.
I don't think that means that they're just going to stomp through the bracket, though. Like, I don't know. I just wanted some time to think about it. For a second, we can go Ultimates. I'll lean Ultimates, but I don't think it's just like that clear. Personally. They just lost to him last week. I mean, they had obviously looked good at them. A great at the major, for sure. Yeah, I would go Ultimates, but I don't think it's like, I don't think it's that quick of a. For me, it's not that quick of a decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that confident that, like, if I were a betting man, like, I'm gonna sit here and think about it for a second, because I do think that the power of a new roster is a lot. Like, like I think it's a big advantage.
Didn't work for you later on in your career, but early on it was good.
No, but it's when you're coming from 10th, you're not jumping to 5th. But
hey, but you're trying to get Gen G to jump from 12th at the major to, were they 12th? Round 5 against the top 2 team at the major. Like, you think they can? Well, like, I guess it is online at the end of the day. And Gen G they are the reigning regional champs.
Yeah, I'll go 4-3 Ultimates.
Game 7, that'd be exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think there's that big of a gap here. Personally, am I crazy for that? Like, I don't know. I don't think there's that crazy of a gap. Because the Ultimates run was great, but I don't think they were playing a great Vitality. Like Falcons didn't seem great. Vitality fell off a cliff once they got the playoffs. Energy was having one of the worst lands ever. From their whole team career, and then they got 4-0'd, which I don't think anyone else is being K Corp anyway. But I don't think it was like, oh, now there's a big gap between them and everyone else. I think they had a great run. Sure. I'm not taking away from the run.
I think the difference with the Ultimates for me was, I think Chronic looked fantastic compared to
he did
how he has looked.
100%.
I think that's elevated them.
But while I think that is part of their team problem right now, is that that Chronic is kind of determining their runs right now with the way they play. I feel like their success right now is based on his confidence, and that's why I think they're a little bit like they either look top 2 clear, top 1 clear, or they're getting 6th. I think they got 6th one of the regionals, right? But I think this is game 7. Like, I don't think they're gonna stomp Gen G. I don't see it personally.
Give me Gen G in 5. Johnny, who you
Gen
got?
G in 5. My word.
Wait, is that serious or are you kidding?
Nah, Ultimates are gonna win this one. Come on.
Garrett's starting to do things to me. Garrett's starting to do things to me. Starting to give me confidence.
Oh, that's funny. No, I still have Ultimates, but it'll be a hard series for him. I don't think there's that big of a gap. Just me, at least.
Yeah, I'm interested that you think that. I think that remembering back to the vibe when they played,
vibe check.
Because yes, Gen G did beat Ultimates in their final regional. Gen G are the defending champions, but the vibe was that Ultimates were going to absolutely destroy them. And I know they've changed the player, but everybody thought they were going to get rocked, and then somehow they won the regional. And they obviously didn't think they could do it again because they changed the player. But yeah, I think this time Ultimates are going to get them. I think they're not going to go in and underestimate them. I do think that Ultimates probably underestimated them last time they played, and it was part of their downfall.
Yeah, and there was a lot of pressure on that too. LJ's hunting his first win, and really the equalizer was like a really bad mistake, if I remember right. It was like the Chronic mistouch on defense or something. But yeah, I think Ultimates.
Yeah, they were up. I can't believe that they came back to win that one. It's so insane.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
first
Like,
go
yeah.
instantly tweets, what a throw.
yeah, speaking
Yeah.
of the Chronic mistouch, how funny is it they used Chronic's mistake as the decal announcement video?
Wait, did they really?
Yeah,
Is that what they did? I didn't
Didn't
know
you
that.
see that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
wait,
saw
didn't
the
know.
I saw the
Sorry.
Reddles tweet.
Yeah, Reddles tweeted it. I think
But I
can
didn't
someone
know
leak
it was
the
that
original
is
clip?
gold.
Yeah, it's like where he just pops the ball up into the top left corner and then like they all just slam it. Yeah, but someone's probably got
No
the link.
way.
I'm pretty sure someone linked it in the Reddles comments. But yeah, they used like just an
Wait, they
absolute
did?
abomination of a
Why
play
would
from.
they-
Wait,
from
Why would
Chronic.
they
link
use
it,
that
link it.
goal? You want to link the Rocket League tweet?
yeah, wait, I need to see this.
Why would they do that?
I could probably pull it up actually. Pull that up, Jamie.
Yeah, can we pull it up?
Does someone have the actual goal though? Like a clip of the goal? Anyone chat? Is it in the comments?
Yeah, Reddles replied with a clip of it as well.
Oh, perfect.
Oh wow.
Holy, look at this. Are you kidding me? I'll mute it. We don't need to hear the sound. Yeah, they've used the Chronic
Wait, what time in this video is it at?
bomb. Chronic goes for the save and just absolutely heavy car bugs it into the top left corner.
Oh,
That's so funny.
wait, they actually did.
Where's the
Oh no! Why would they do this to him?
Where's the Reddles? Oh, you're the clip.
Oh, John also said, I didn't know Ultimates played Jin. I don't even remember that. Ultimates played Jinji at the major, and it was 3-2. Oh, come on, fella. I mean, this isn't close. I mean, this is not like
Come
a
on,
stomping.
fellas.
This is not like a.
Come on, fellers.
Come on, fellas.
Yeah. This is a good NA matchup. You know, I feel like we're acting like Jinji is like, you know, I don't know, 8th best NA team. Or
I just think the confidence from winning or making the major final is going to be too much, too big of a boost. I think they got heavy tilted last time, which is the second time that Rails is like started coming back against First Killer's team, and then First Killer's team gets tilted because they're like, why are we not winning this? This should be easy, and then they're just getting eliminated. So
yeah.
I think now they're not going to underestimate them, and they're going to just be confident.
I think this is
I think it's fair.
This is a big series for GarrettG, like in terms of this roster. If they can beat Ultimates like that could just elevate this GarrettG team into a, contender. But surely Ultimates win. I'm going to say 4-2, but we'll go to 7. We'll go 7. We'll go to Cinema. Speaking of Cinema, we've got the kids taking on Rebellion. How does Reddles go against Space Station Gaming?
I don't think it was a great matchup.
Everyone is spamming SSG 4-0. Where are my believers in the chat? Where am I?
Yeah,
my god!
They're even in your chat, bro. You can see they're in your chat.
4-1, 4-2, 4-0. Oh, a 4-1, 4-1, 4-0 SSG. What the? How are there more people thinking that GarrettG would beat? Oh, I feel like the majority of chat thought GarrettG were going to beat Ultimates, but there's 0 people thinking that Rebellion can beat Space Station.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm going.
Oh my god!
But there's just nothing to go off of yet. Like what am I basing it off of? You know what I mean? I need to see something first.
They've been screaming well.
We talk about practice.
They've been screaming well.
We talk about practice.
Well, I mean, that's great. I just need to see something first. You know what I'm saying? I need to see something.
He says that's great. That's great.
I mean,
I
believe. It's not that I don't believe. It's just like I'm trying. If I'm trying to be as accurate with predictions, if I've got something on the line, I got to go Space Station, just based off history and last week.
But you're talking about the reigning regional champion Reddles.
We are. That's true.
Okay, well, I feel like Johnny. I feel like that we are was so not genuine. Like we are.
No, yeah, I think that's you're gonna win this one. I'm sorry. Like Shopify made it pretty far here.
Yeah,
I think it's a good first regional.
All right, 4-1. You happy?
Yeah, something they can build on.
4-1.
It's
something they can build on.
Oh, okay.
So many losses to learn from. Like this is a good regional for Shopify. Very good regional.
Yeah.
This is top 6, right?
Yeah, top 6.
Right?
We need.
Yeah. No,
come
this
on.
is a great.
top 6 is
This
great.
is a great
Stop!
result.
Don't. No, it's top
Yeah.
4s or nothing for this team. That's where we're at. I'm
Is
sick.
it?
I'm
It's
sick.
top 4s or nothing?
Because I'm sick of this. Like, oh, well done, you made top 8. You know, like it's just like crap. That's crap. I want Rebellion in the major.
I did think about saying Rebellion just so we could hear the Rebellion versus NRG conversation, but just since we didn't get that,
Just go one more down the hole.
yeah, if we did get that hypothetical matchup, Rebellion NRG in semis, Garrett, like, are you scared at all?
Oh
even
yeah.
remotely?
Energy Rebellion matchup?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you
no.
like? Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No. I mean that.
No.
There's nothing to go off of yet.
There's nothing to go off on Space Station. It's a new roster.
Hold on. Let me just say this really quick.
Okay, here we go.
I am not good. I just went to Game 5 with this team. How am I predicting them to beat Space Station and potentially NRG? There's just no way. I need to see something first.
Garrett, you're a world champion. You have another world champion.
6 years ago is half a decade
ago. You are
ago.
a world champion.
I'm midway through my 20s and I was 19 at the time. You know, that was a long time ago. Different days.
You've still got it though. Like I've seen the streams. You still.
He's like,
what's your 2Z? What was your 2Z MMR last season? Were you top 100?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think. Okay, so if I'm close to beating a team, and I don't think there's a chance I'm beating Space Station, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not basing it just off that. I'm just saying I need to see.
Feels like you're basing it off.
I need to see some. I kind of am because I'm going off the Swiss, but I need to see some result. Like I need to see the potential is there for sure. I rate the team's potential great, but I think they need to go through this regional. That's why I'm saying top 6 would be great for them, because I think by the 3rd regional it would be the best version of them. But
think about the boot camp.
So far, the Shopify boot camps have never paid off.
Yeah, but think about Reddles.
In fact, I was always vouching for them to play at home because the only times that
they
Shopify
did get
played
top 2 at home, yes,
they were like top 2 and almost made the major.
Yeah.
So this is a big regional. If they get a solid performance at the boot camp, you know, there's some high quality Game 5 wins. You know, maybe next week I'll have them beating Space Station. But let's build first. You know, you can't go. You can't go for it all.
No, you can. You can definitely peak early and then fall off. Which one do you want though? I think we want the build. Okay, we'll take the build. We'll take the top 6.
You want the top 6 is great.
We'll take the build rather than the peak.
For you're not out at all.
Yeah, but it just kind of feels like you think Gen G can peak this weekend, and you can't.
Well, Gen G is not completely changing their whole playstyle either. Really, they've just mechanically upgraded.
I think getting rid of Riddles changes your playstyle. You're not looking for that. You're not sweeping through the net as much.
I think that's a lot easier to do when compared to like Riddles is. I would assume Riddles is definitely changing like a lot.
It's less flow state gameplay. I'm with you. It's less.
Yeah, that's gonna take. Yeah, that's gonna take time. I think a little bit of time, which there's not a lot of, but. I mean, they could do. I mean, the potential is there. They could absolutely. 2Piece is still one of the best defenders I've ever seen. Like, I don't know. This guy decides to sit on the goal line when it makes no sense and gets a save anyway. It really makes me mad. But
yeah, he does.
They just need a little time.
Have you thought about Jane Apps?
I rate the team. What'd you say?
Have you thought about Jane Apps on the team as well? Like,
yeah, Jane Apps is a great addition, but you can't change stuff overnight. You know.
I think that accelerates things, though. You
know. Okay. But I still got Space Station 4-1. I'll give you 4-2. 4-2.
I'm leaving 4-1. I don't want to hear it. This feels like a pity party now. Complexity.
I feel like I'm just hating. I feel like I'm just hating on the team. I'm not. Just
no, I think you've done well. I think it's been fairly PR. I'm just trying to get you
fairly PR.
Okay. Complexity Ultimates first semi-final. Oh, this is. Hang on. Thinking of history, Johnny, you know this.
Yeah.
Ultimates always beat Complexity, or is it the other way around?
Complexity have just lost to everyone when it gets to top 4. They always lose to Ultimates and NRG. They just lose to those 2 teams, and then also apparently Gen G last regional of the and it wasn't close. So yeah, they kind of just always lose in this spot. But the question is, will it be different with this version of the team?
Why does Frosty on Complexity look so good to me?
good play
Because it
style.
free ups Diaz.
Yeah, good play style combination. Frosty's a very good defender. Most defensive player on SSG last split when he wasn't trolling, which was luckily for them. Well, I guess not luckily for them, not enough, but it wasn't most of the time. It wasn't. They were trolling a little bit, not too often though.
Garrett, you're an ultimate hater. Who you got here?
I'm not an ultimate hater. Okay. I'm not an ultimate hater.
That's actually true. A little bit.
I'm not. I'm absolutely not an ultimate hater. I just don't. I don't think they're gonna come into the regional super hungry. You know, I think they're gonna be like chilling a little bit.
Are you concerned about NRG's spot as the #1 team in North America? Is that what it is?
No, I'm not at all. To be honest.
Okay.
Was that a serious question, or are you trolling me? I mean, I think Energy's #1 still.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Energy's #1 still.
Yeah.
For me at least. I will say for Energy, I think there needs to be a sign of a little bit of, I don't want to say change, but I don't know. That is weird because Energy seemed like a few goals away from being in the final. You know what I mean? It wasn't, but at the same time, it felt like we weren't watching peak Energy the whole weekend. So it's like, is that a good sign that their floor is so high when they look off, or is it a bad sign that they look off? You know what I mean? Like there's either you can cope or you can be critical. So it's hard. But sorry, I'll go back to Ultimates. I think Ultimates actually take this too, to be honest. I think if they make it this deep, like they're not going to be off at this point. You know, my whole point of the Gen.G Ultimates thing is that I really could see Ultimates coming to this a little bit not hungry enough. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's such a first killer team dynamic thing to like first regional, like okay, we were like off the gas a little bit, and then next regional top 2 instantly. Like I feel like that happens a lot with his teams and stuff. So I'm just
need a little wake up call.
Okay.
But if they're making it this deep in the tournament, I think, you know, that means it's a good version of Ultimates. So I'm gonna go 4-2.
I would also argue they haven't done much yet to like make it this deep. It's not like they. I mean, beating Gen.G is the only team we got them losing a space station. So far, they've beaten Sim Talk +1, Strictly Business, 9 lives. So really, they have. It's you could still argue they're not on yet. You know, apart from the Gen.G win, it's not like that. You know that we haven't got them beating space station, Complexity, or NRG up until this point. But there's some. I'm gonna go back to it. There's just I'm a massive Raise Bull fan, but from the 3 games that I watched last weekend, there's something that's talking to me about this Complexity lineup that they just look like on the pitch, just like more threatening. They just look like they look scary.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say with Raise Bull out and Frosty in.
There's something to be said about honeymoon periods in Rocket League too. And also with the Ultimates thing, I feel like what I'm trying to say too is that I'm not like I could just power rank the teams and predict based off that, but I'm trying to predict based on where I feel like the mental of the team will be compared to the other teams.
Yeah. Which is why I'm leaning Complexity. Like I think Ultimates obviously power ranks, you know, they're a top 10 team in the world. Complexity's not. But like Complexity this weekend.
That's interesting to me. I still think like at this stage, it's going to be a bit of a mental block for Complexity still,
because they can't
because they struggle with it last event.
Wasn't there a game 7 last event like a Complexity?
Nah, didn't they just get destroyed every time they reached this point? I think they just got smashed every time they played this.
I know they've had bad no, was it grand finals? They went.
Was there game 7? They lost game 7. Did they lose game 7 to SSG or something? Was it ever in the like
event number 2, game 7 OT? There you go. Complexity Ultimates. That's what I was thinking.
Did they? Okay, fair enough.
It was an upper match though. It wasn't a semi.
Oh, it was upper. No, it wasn't elimination. It wasn't a semi. Yeah, nah. Every time they reach elimination or semi, they haven't gone close. Upper, yeah, sure. They've looked pretty good in uppers.
All right, I'm happy to go that way again. I'm happy. But I'm just going to put the word of warning out there that I think Complexity could win this.
I like that. If they win, then that's a really fun result, and NA's even more open than it was before with like GarrettG winning. So I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that at all.
All right. Ultimates are through. NRG versus Space Station. I mean, you know, they just 4-1 Rebellion there. I'm not going to lie, Garrett. They're looking kind of nice at the moment. You know?
We're basing that off the
Already
series
got a
before.
warm-up win on Champ Sunday. Feeling good.
Yeah.
Big win over Rebellion. Big mental block against that team.
Really big win. Yeah.
This doesn't go well for Space Station in the past, though, does it? This is the should have won. Oh no, they beat
third
them in
regional.
First.
No, third regional Space Station destroyed them in that seeding match.
Oh, seeding.
They like hard 3-0'd them, but then Ultimates also 4-0'd them the next day. So I don't know, you know. I'm going Energy though.
This is the point where they're warmed up, isn't it? Like this is like the Champ Sunday NRG where they look way different than Friday, and they just win.
Yeah, and I think they're coming off an event that they're really not happy with. And people might think that stuff's dumb, but I think it changes a lot in terms of like the scrims leading up to this event. Or
you're angry.
I don't know. When you're a team like Energy, you can't fake being super hyped. Like when you've made that many finals in a row, you're just like, all right, let's just go to the final. But now they feel like, you know, they need to earn it. I would think
they have to get it back. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to earn it back, and they probably thought they could just go to the LAN and turn up, even though they were kind of like going downward a little bit. This last split was weird because I remember thinking in the first regional, I was like, Space Station looks so much better right now, and then Energy won.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
And then Energy won
SSG like tilted.
They won the second regional too, right, against Ultimates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that was a good LAN or a good regional for them. But then the third regional, they seemed pretty off. But I don't know. Daniel's number 1 on the boards right now. He just dropped like 25 goals in Swiss. You know. Not that matters, but no, I have Energy.
Yeah, number one in the. I think number 1 in the leaderboards does matter.
That matters.
I like to see Daniel up there.
Gives me confidence.
It matters.
Is Beast Mode playing the game? That's what I want to know.
That's I was about to say, but Dan looked good. Dan looked good at the LAN too. I think the Beast Mode needs to be.
Yeah, we need to start having a conversation about Beast Mode's form. I need to see him back on top because he was the best player on the team for a while, but he wasn't at the major, and I need the out. What's the hours past 2 for BMO? You got him public?
Good question. Yeah.
Pull it up, Garrett.
It'd be crazy if his hours were low and I said it, you know. Oh, he's at 160 hours past 2. We're looking good, fellas.
160?
Nah. No,
I was going to say, he's been farming the main menu if he's got 160.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his hours.
Things are looking
good. Scrims are looking good. I'm going to pull a CJ.
All I'll say is that silence is deafening here. Garrett doesn't want to say the hours. I mean...
it's getting to turbo pulsar levels. Listen. It is getting to turbo.
Silence is deafening.
Quality over quantity. Quality. I can't speak to the quality of the hours. You know, who knows?
Okay.
I don't know if that's work with him though.
I don't think he looked bad. He just wasn't beast mode that we know. You know, his standards are so high.
You look bad for him. But
right.
He's been like an MVP of a major before, so. You're going to get scrutinized a little bit more closely when you've put up performances like he has. He knows that.
Of course. Yeah.
So I don't think he'll be happy with his performance at the last event either. And he won't. I don't think he would have been happy with their level and his level online because he's such a good player. Not. I mean, best player in NA last season.
Yeah.
I think you can perform. Like there's some people saying, but he was low hours in the grand finals run. I'm gonna go back to Turbo. And probably myself as well. I think you can perform with low hours, but it catches up. It catches up with Turbo. You. Well, like in my own experience as well. Obviously, on a
I know what you
scale,
mean, but I just love like that sentence.
Speaking of myself and Turbo with 4 world championships between us, I really think that you like it's fine, but it does also, you know what I mean? It catches up on you because you're just putting in less, and then like at the start you're still kind of feeling it, but after a little bit, I still think you need to be putting in the quantity as well. Just time on game TOG. You know, you need more TOG because even if you get the quality up, if you're still doing quality scrim hours, compared to the person that's putting in like 50 to 60 more hours than you, that's going to catch up. It caught up with me and Turbo.
It catches up with everybody. Like every player who thought that they could maintain. I mean, honestly, every player who like has fallen off, has probably dropped their hours in some way. Like, there's very, very few players who have been able to last. Like,
Torsos has been consistently above 100
insane.
and has been the only person I know that's like 100 hours past 2 constantly, maybe 90, 80 at the lowest. And he's the only person that's still here since season 3. So there's something in that,
And yes, we know that he had 80 past 2, or no, not 80. We know that Beast Mode had 40 past 2 going into the London Major, which they won. That's not, news. But what we're saying is and we've always said this. I've always told this to players. So many players have asked me what I think about hours because they think they're playing better with lower hours. I say it can work in the short term. I've always said that it can work in the short term, but you want to continue improving or you want to stay at the top, you need to have high hours. Well, maybe not like super high, but like higher than 40 for sure. I don't think anybody's gonna stay at the top on 40 hours past 2.
For me, when people say they play better with low hours, I don't know if you've had this, Garrett, but it's also the same as people that say, "Oh, I play better at like 2 a.m." when I'm like, like I'm in flow state at like 2 a.m. It's like, yeah, but you're also tired. You can't, you know what I mean? Like it's still not, you know what I mean? You still want to have rest and stuff. It's probably because you're not thinking too much and your brain's like working overtime because you're sleepy.
Yeah. I think it's probably a balance thing. Like when your hours a little bit lower, you're just feeling fresh. Like for me, I don't think I ever dropped my hours. I think I actually upped them, but it was just a bunch of like shit hours at that point. Like when I was like, when I was really motivated, I was like, okay, I gotta improve. It was just like not good hours. It was just a bunch of them for no reason.
It's like junk volume. Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely a balance for sure.
Balance, yeah.
I know what you mean. It's like you want to see them go up a little bit because then you would think that means they're motivated. I think that's what it is too. Like you would think that means they're wanting to improve as well. So, but
yeah, which is why for Dan, number 1 in 2s does mean a bit. I think it shows that he's.
I like that. Yeah.
He's. I mean, 2s is pretty hard to be up there. 1s is easy. Like I think Zen's played 5 1s games and he's number 2 or something because that doesn't reset.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't
resets.
really reset. Yeah, 2s resets hard. Everybody goes back down like.
So speaking of that, NRG in 6, you gonna get the job done. I think we're all leaning NRG.
Yeah, I think NRG win that. Yeah.
All right,
they got it.
Final one, NRG taking on Ultimates. The battle for, I'd say, the true. Whoever wins this is 100% number 1 in the region. Ultimates obviously got the wood over them at the major. NRG are the online goats. Which way are we going?
I think I want to go NRG.
I think I do as well.
Yeah, I still think they're the best team. Like an on-form NRG versus an on-form Ultimates, I'm going NRG every time. But I am going to go. Is this a game 7? I feel like I'm leaning towards game 7.
It is a 7
for this.
It's definitely a 7.
I think it's a 7. Yeah, it ended up being a boring. Like we just power ranked the region kind of a little bit.
What I'm gonna say. I think history often repeats itself. Last season, the last regional of the first split was won by GarrettG, First Killer Chronic Abjack. They also beat G2 at the major, the Copenhagen major.
Talk to me.
And then they won the first regional of the second split.
That's enough for me.
Also,
7.
But then from that point on in the season, it was all downhill. They lost every single
That's
they
more than
lost
enough for me.
early in NA events, and they also lost to G2 in London. They lost to them at Worlds, I think as well. Actually, no, maybe not. But yeah, their season fell apart. So I think Ultimates will win this one. I think they're going to win the regional, and then it's going to be downhill from there.
Yeah,
that's my prediction for Ultimates.
You had me at history repeats itself. I can see it.
I just don't want all the NRG fans to cry when I predict Ultimates to win here, because I mean, NRG fans don't like me because I don't predict them to win absolutely everything. But hey, new grand final streak is back. That's good, right? The NRG fans love grand final streak. Garrett, we love NRG grand final streaks.
Yeah.
So
No, I don't.
this is good.
I'm not mad at the loss here. I want them to be. I want them to be as mad as possible going into the last regional of the split and into the major and worlds.
It is.
I want
It
them
is
to
the
be
last
like,
one that matters. Yeah, it is.
yeah, I want them to be like going into the last two lands to, you know, to not feel like they're coasting a little bit, because that's how I kind of felt about the team a little bit. Like it felt like a little coasty to me.
Go see, yeah.
So I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Make them mad.
Final standings for our predictions. We've got Ultimates beating NRG in 7. Ultimates 1, NRG 2. 3, 4, we got Complexity Space Station. Then we have GarrettG and Rebellion level on the 5th, 6th spot. Cinema going into the next event. 9 Lives Pirates, 7, 8. The Boys, Strictly Biz, Team Evo, and Nah, 9 to 12. We have Power Rangers, Sim Talk +1, Deleted, and What's Up, 13. So pretty expected top 4 if you're going to power rank them, you know, or maybe your major predicted teams. Ultimates, NRG, Complexity, Space Station. That's probably the majority of people's top 4 going in. You know, I think a few might have GarrettG off last weekend, maybe over Complexity or Space Station.
But actually, yeah, no, maybe it's not majority people top 4. Maybe
really?
not, because of GarrettG catching so many. I mean, so many people are just talking about GarrettG, so more people are probably going to vote them.
Or
Complexity
Rebellion.
had a pretty forgettable split. Or Rebellion.
Yeah. Why'd you laugh?
As well.
Why'd you laugh?
I just love it. It's just funny you saying it so excitedly as a way. I'm not laughing at the idea of people talking about Rebellion.
Okay.
Felt
like it.
The messenger,
anyway.
maybe a little bit, yeah. No, they top 6. It's a good result. Great start for the split.
Season points based off that. We have Ultimates and NRG would be tied on season points after that. That's interesting.
Oh, really?
63 apiece.
Cool.
Look at that. They are so far ahead. Complexity, GarrettG, 31 apiece. Space Station on Lives, Pirates Rebellion. And obviously, you got the split points, which are just based on our results. But that's interesting. A little 63 apiece. I mean, they're clearly the top 2 right now. I think Complexity if they win, could stop there. More points weighted later on in the season as well. I think, what is it? 18, 12, 8, 6, 4. Was it 15, 10? Last split?
I can't remember last split. But yeah, the top, the like winning is like more important this season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 6 versus 5, I think.
Yeah. So you get a bigger boost for winning, which just means that if a team does win a regional, they're very likely to appear at the major. Whereas last season it was a bit easier to dodge it.
15, 10, 7, 5, 3 last split. Now we're 18, 12, 8, 6, 4. So actually, pretty big jump for first and second. Like 3 more points for first, then 2 more points for second, then 1 extra point for the rest of the top 8.
Big. Yeah, it's big.
Which will be
then, okay. We do have other regions.
Yes,
we're kind of just going to predict like the top end of these, because the other regions don't have the as many spots, and also don't have as many teams that are competing. Sam has quite a lot of teams that are very close together. MENA's got like a handful. OCE's got a handful, and SSA is just limitless, trying to stop the cringe from repeating. Yeah, who do you want to go to first?
I'm on MENA.
MENA, okay.
But we have Falcons and Twisted on opposite sides, so that's looking all right. Now, who's on sleeping? Rook?
The big news is that Al Qadsiya last split they were Dr. No and Nash Tox. Now they've got Toxic.
Toxic and Toxic
come on the same team.
You kidding me?
But honestly, like Nash for Toxic's a pretty I don't think that's like a massive upgrade or like a big change. Like, if they want to take on a Twisted Minds or a Falcons, you got to pull in a world-class player there to get me convinced that you got a chance against these teams. I'm not convinced. I think it's just going to be Twisted Falcons again, based on the Al Qadsiya attempt.
Yeah.
I know that there's been like some Saudi E-League, matches that, somebody beat Falcons or whatever. I don't really care. I think it's still going to be Falcons Twisted.
Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Falcons 4-2 grand final.
However, if you do want to watch, because they do their events one day ahead of the rest of the world, because their weekend is a day earlier, you can catch Twisted Minds versus Al Qadsiya tomorrow. It's an upper bracket quarterfinal. They're already finished with their group stage. So that's going to be in 16 hours from now, as we're talking live. 16 hours from right now.
15?
If you look at what time it is. 16.
15? On Wikipedia? Oh, do you mean the semi-final?
No, it's 16 hours from now. The Twisted Minds Al Qadsiya.
Oh, it's just one. Sorry. Yeah, I was looking at Falcons.
Or are you looking at Falcons?
On me.
I thought one of our PCs was in the wrong time zone.
Yeah, we broke it. Where are we going?
Yeah.
And we've got OCE, of course, which we have Friday happening later on today. Not too much. It was pretty expected. Healthy Chiefs, TSM, both went 3-0. So did Power. Wildcard lost a game. I didn't see this. Who is I'm fine? Oh, Shaw's like, oh, that's a good team. Okay, they lost to Laxon. Shaw's scrub. So that's a pretty good team. That's fair enough. But I don't know. OCE, we'll find out this weekend, but obviously pretty...
What's the vibe in OCE? I'm more concerned about like the vibe in OCE after the most disappointing major of all time.
I don't think it's great. Well, you've obviously got the teams that aren't there thinking, lol, look how shit these guys are. We can do better. So they're probably confident. I'd say wildcard are definitely flat, but with the confidence that they're still going to be able to dominate the region. But they have dropped a game already, so that might be iffy. But you've got Power, which is ex-Scrims World. Gus, Luna, Caleb, Gus joining as well. So that'll be interesting to watch. Adam Baguette is apparently the super coach. Got them a regional win last time. So that's exciting to watch. And I think this is just wait and see what happens. If I was going to give predictions, it's like who's the most motivated coming off that performance? Honestly, maybe Power. Maybe this new Scrims World team that didn't make it but won an event. They don't have the deflation of losing to APAC at the major. Perhaps still up and about. This is probably the most open the first event can be because it's hard to, you can just say wildcard are going to win. But they were pretty darn flat off also losing to Luminosity at the event. But they did go to game 5 against KC. Like, you have that as well. Like, they're good enough. So I'd say it's wildcard's still favourites. But, I mean, I don't know if you guys can make a prediction. I can't even really make a prediction right now because I haven't seen scrims, and as Garrett said, scrims are very important.
Oh, absolutely.
Dust Rebellion. Well, yeah, wait and see. Tune into that. First game will be, happening in 7 hours from now. Power will be playing, so that's a good look. And then playoffs. If you want to catch the grand final, actually, of OCE for the YouTube viewers, that will be 9 AEST, which will be translated to 7 p.m. Eastern. Wait, no, 7 a.m. Eastern. 7 a.m.
7 a.m. Eastern. It's bad for America, but it's like midday UK, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. if you're in France. So yeah, it's a very good time actually. You just get up in the morning and you watch some OCE Rocket League Grand Final.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Perfect. If you guys wanted to check out our thoughts on the decals, I know that was probably the only piece of big news that's dropped this week. Was the 12D decal release. If you guys want to see our thoughts on that, patreon.com/chalkcast. We do have our new bonus episode up, bonus 91, which is our decal tier list. We rank all 12 decals. We try and get Garrett as unbiased as possible on NRG. He thinks it's the greatest thing that's ever been made in the history of mankind.
He does.
And we give our thoughts on the KC situation as well. So make sure you tune into that. But Captain, anything else from you?
No. I'm excited to watch NA, honestly. This is probably the most excited I've been to watch a regional for a while. Unrelated, but That's what I was sitting here thinking about.
It's hype. Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of NA predictions in the past where we're thinking like, these are all kind of like obvious, or it feels obvious. But for once, no, it actually doesn't feel obvious at all. NA's got a lot of teams in the middle of the pack.
I was
Very
second
close
guessing
together.
myself a lot, to be honest. Like it's hard to predict. I mean, we ended up going Ultimate Energy at the end, but for me, I was second guessing each series for both of them too. So definitely the most excited for me that I've been in a while to watch NA. It's kind of how I feel about EU, like how NA is starting to feel for me. Like we have everyone thinks that I've just absolutely made the prediction of the year when I say 9 lives can make a top 8, and they were almost at the major. Yeah, so
they were actually very nearly the major.
Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch.
We also have the EU quals as well this week, so we'll be able to keep an eye on that. And then next week we'll be able to do our full EU predictions. But yeah, let us know. This is the first time we've done predictions live. I guess, chat, you guys can let us know. But did you guys enjoy going along with us? Usually this is a bonus episode over on the Patreon.
Wait, CJ, we also have, like, there's one other piece of news. Well, we had an idea that we wanted to run by you guys. So right now, obviously, we're doing like a preview of NA RLCS. We've been thinking about going live after NA RLCS on Sunday and doing like a post NA RLCS chalkcast, just as just a different kind of feel, like react to
immediate reaction live, bang.
Immediate reaction to the event. What do you guys think about that? Yes. Can we get some ones if you like that idea?
It'd be great if Shopify does amazing, and then we go live
right
after, and CJ
my
just like,
goodness.
I told you.
I'm just playing this epic music the whole time. That'd be insane. Yeah, I think the idea, if we can be like the hub for, immediate post-event reactions, you could get, players jumping in as well, whatever, coaches, casters, whoever, just kind of not having set guests, but if everyone's kind of congregating in the one spot or over the 3 streams, we can get viewers, we can get reactions, stuff like that. I love seeing, I don't know if you have it in other sports, but it's certainly in AFL, we have they have call-ins from fans after like especially when a team loses and they get fans to call in and just be like, we're the worst team I've ever seen. Get rid of him. Like that kind of thing. It's so funny. I love seeing it, and it's always the best when it's fresh. You know what I mean? Like, rather, obviously, we love doing the midweek ones. We'll still look to do the midweek chalks, but I think getting those fresh reactions is really good as well. And then also being able to let it breathe for the midweek. We'll mix it up. It might not be every week, but I think we should do it for this weekend. I think that'll work with our times. So
yeah. I like it.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're gonna probably do that this time, so it's a good one to do it on. We can't do it on every event. Like, some of them we're gonna be working, or some of them, like, one of us will be away. But I think this one we're all view partying anyway on the Sunday. Well, I am. Are you guys? Gonna be view party Sunday?
Yeah. Well, when Shopify there, I'll be there. So
surely you stay live after Shopify if Shopify get eliminated, right?
Yeah. I'll still be. I'll be there no matter what. So yeah, tune in and then we'll go live straight away. Sorry, I forgot the Patreon cues as well. But yeah, let us know in the comments in YouTube as well if you like the idea of that, and we'll see how we go with it. Patreon questions. Why does raising the floor, Captain? Why does raising the floor matter at all when the ceiling is so low? Wouldn't you rather raise the ceiling, if anything? No team that wins anything current day has a low ceiling.
No, what was the last thing?
No team that wins anything current day has a low ceiling.
Oh, well, I think the problem is with having a higher ceiling but a low floor is that if you can't beat the teams you should, you'll never reach your ceiling. Like, you're not gonna peak first series of the tournament, but you got to be good enough to get past it. Like, I don't think the best teams in NA are playing their best Rocket League day one, but their floor is so high that they build momentum. And then once you do, like Evo, for example, they build momentum, they make it deep, but then their ceiling's not high enough to go further. But if you can't make it to where Team Evo is, you'll never, so like you got to have a floor before you have a high ceiling. Especially when it comes to like this type of format where it's about how you do 3 times in a row, not just it's not a qualifier in the sense of you win one series or in, like league play used to be. It's Yeah, Shopify is the perfect example. Their ceiling was when they were playing good. It looked like that's why everyone had them power ranked top 6 every time. The best teams in NA thought that they
The
easily could
ceiling.
make a major,
Yeah.
because of how scrims went. But the floor was just inconsistent. So that's why that's definitely important.
Yeah,
Gotta
you
have
need the
both.
foundations.
So you need to have a. I like that. You need to have a. What was it you said? We need to get this on a poster. Maybe sell it as chalk
You
marks. You
said
need to
it.
have a
You need a
floor
high
before you
floor.
build a ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
you need a floor before you build a
I
ceiling.
don't
It's actually
remember.
just like true in construction as well,
yeah, it
honestly,
just
as well
makes
as
sense,
Rocket
doesn't
League.
it,
It's
when you
just
think
a
about it?
generally like good order to build things in. So yeah, it checks out.
Well, hang on. I think the quote from Garrett was, "You need a high floor, or you'll never reach your ceiling." Anyway, something like that.
It was something like that. I don't remember. I was just
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, you made it sound better.
It was
Maybe
just
go
from
back.
Seoul.
Maybe just go
Yeah.
back and it.
it was
Yeah,
real.
let's
It was
just edit that.
That was really
It
good.
was unrehearsed.
That was
Really good.
really nice. Not John says, did NA's top 4 overall improve with roster moves, or have they stayed relatively neutral? Most moves seem pretty horizontal, so results for the major, in my eyes, won't change much. So basically,
I think it's improved.
I think it's improved.
I think it's improved.
I think complexity look better. I mean, I've talked about them all.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, look at what I think Garrett, you said this last week. Like, look at what EU was doing. Like, they just made a bunch of like swaps. They were just like, all right, this player swap with this player, and now suddenly you got a world championship roster. You got to just move some players around sometimes, get some fresh honeymoon phases started, and off you go.
I think the biggest sign of that is that we're in a situation where I think almost everyone agrees that Space Station has improved, but we all are thinking complexity is really good too. And then on top of that, I genuinely think the move was good for Shopify, and Genji has a higher ceiling now. So everyone improved from it, I think, and that's not even a PR answer. I mean, Shopify needed something like that to happen for sure. So
yeah, I believe it.
I think it's improved.
Sorry.
That's right.
I was the only thing I was gonna say is that I think people say it's horizontal too because, I don't agree that Genji going and only getting top 12 is like so bad. It's like these are good teams. It's hard, but the game's just hard. All these teams are good, but I think they're just comparing them to K Corp. Everyone looks bad compared to K Corp. So unless you're round 1 against OCE, I guess that looked bad. That was bad, but ended up winning anyway.
Thanks for that. Hang on, BT says, without naming names, think of players that have had hours accusations laid against them. I know I get frustrated when I hear about players wasting their talent. How many of those examples are strictly prioritizing life, bored with the game, or don't care about the game? I have this question because I want to know how much empathy to have when the question is asked. I think that, I think that low hours is pretty directly correlated to low motivation with playing the game, because if you aren't motivated, you're not playing. If you were motivated, you would be playing the game and having more hours. And for me, that was pretty big. I just started playing a lot more golf than playing ranked.
You're playing golf.
So that was my low hours. That was definitely prioritizing life. I think there's always, and I was saying with you, Garrett, you had a longer career than me, but there's always a time span of, or there comes a time where you start thinking, man, I've kind of missed out on a lot of, personal life, social activity, stuff like that. And I think that can weigh down on people. And sometimes you just want to be released from the shackles of having to scrim every night and tied down to a team.
Yeah, I think it depends person to person. I think as well as, honestly, I didn't quite understand the question, but
it's when you're like, oh, Beast Mode has low hours. He's like, how much empathy should I have for the reasoning behind that, rather than just not putting in versus people that actually just want to prioritize personal life or something or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think with the Beast Mode energy situation, and just from being on a team like that at some point, I think when you're that confident in yourself and your team, you don't want to play with worse players in your free time. You're like, you go from peak Rocket League to queuing NA ranked, and I think sometimes you just think why, I'm just getting worse doing this sometimes, and I think that's what kind of contributes to it. I was gonna say, I think, it becomes stressful the longer you play. I don't think age actually matters that much, but I think length of career does. Because at some point you're going to go through rough losses, and bouncing back from rough losses is really hard. I think even if the talent is there, it's like it's easier to have a fresh slate and just play no fear. And as well, people judge people with a fresh slate less. It's like, oh, he's a new player. He played bad this event. Like, he's new. Whereas if someone's played for a while, like when I talk about Zanil, it's like, oh, his track record's bad. He's never even been on a great team. Like, how is he? You know what I mean? So it's like people judge very quick as well. And I think you judge yourself after a bad loss as well. And it can mess with your confidence a lot. And there's real life stuff, I definitely feel like I didn't have a normal teenage life at all, which is my own choosing. So, it's player by player.
Yep, just part of
with that stuff.
Part of the job.
So what about like in addition to that, just to try and expand on what you guys are saying as former pros, what do you think a fan should think about a player? And I really don't want this to just everybody's going to think beast mode, because we talked about beast mode, but seriously, there's so many players over the years, so many players who have decided to take it easy going into events. It's not just beast mode. It's like dozens of players throughout every event in Rocket League history, every RLCS LAN that ever happened. So don't think this is a thing just about beast mode at all. But what should people think about? The players who are saying like, I don't know, I feel like I'm better on low hours, and players who are making a lot of money playing Rocket League and are not maybe giving it everything to win, or to play, be as prepared as they can be, and win a world championship. World championship is, I think, the big one. Like,
I think it's super fair.
You look at your player that you're a fan of, and you think that they could be doing more, and they're making so much money doing it. Is it justified to be annoyed if they hear that?
100%. I think like you kind of have it coming if you don't put in, but also like I've had events where I reckon like I've had events where I felt like, oh, like I'm ready, like I've ready to go. And other events where you just kind of, or you're boot camping and you kind of just like screaming, but then, in between you're playing like Valorant or something like that, and you're thinking, I probably could just be flat out playing Rocket League here. And you kind of have kind of have that guilt as well. I feel like some people use it, and I'm thinking of, who is it? John Jones of the UFC. I think he says like he goes out partying before an event because he wants to give himself an excuse. Like he goes like heavily drinking the week of a fight, and because he always likes if he loses, he likes to think, well, I didn't actually prepare fully. So I think there's a little bit of that with players as well, of like, oh, like I'm chilling, But worst case, if we lose, well, I'll just practice harder next time. But I think it's very fair to be strict on, like you have it coming if you're not putting in 100%. It's just kind of like part of the game.
I will say I think it's case by case, because there's a difference between a player playing 5 hours a week and 25 or 30. Like for me, I felt like as soon as we started to get worse, I upped my hours a lot, and it did not help me at all. It just made me more stressed. Like I was just more mad about like how I was playing. So I think it's a balance. Like, I would keep saying beast mode, but beast mode, for example, I don't think if he just all of a sudden puts in 20 more hours a week, he's
back.
Gonna be he's back. It's a balance. Like obviously you want him to play more and grind, but like you don't want him to start spending less time, doing the things that might, I don't know, relieve stress for him or just make him happy. Like that's not going to be a better version of him. So it's a balance. But yeah, when someone's playing like not at all, I think it's completely valid to be like, what are you doing? Like you're getting paid to do nothing. That is extremely valid.
Yeah, I think it's the money aspect is what people get the most.
They're getting paid so much, and they're not.
And then even like bubble pros or bubble players, players who are not making that money, they're looking at the players who are, and they just see them not playing as much as them, and it's easy, it's very justifiable to think that's oh man, that's so annoying to see this player making so much money or that player making so much money and not putting the work in. Natural 100%. To be annoyed about that. So I think it's totally justified.
Of course.
Last one, and it's just going to be a quick from everyone here, which is from Brendan. Do you think a high ceiling or a high floor means more like vitality, crazy high ceiling, but lower floor? They win everything one split, lost everything the next. Which one would you rather have? And I'm going to say, I think I might be in the minority. Maybe I won't be. I would rather be like just a consistent, especially like internet. Like I'd rather be first killer, like fourth killer, than like I guess juicy, or like someone that's like won a major, but you know what I mean, like won a major but hasn't really had consistent results. I'd rather just be around the mark than have a really high peak, like an event winning peak, but not.
Okay.
Which I think it might be different because some people just want to win. I'd rather just be like always in the hunt, but maybe never win.
Number one.
Yeah, that's probably different.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because I'm trying to think, would I rather still be a top pro or have never won worlds or have won worlds?
Yeah.
And
would you rather still
or
qualified
like,
for every major, top 4 team?
I think at a certain point I would want. I think for me I would like the win better, but yeah, I would pick higher floor all day.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I think high ceiling is like high ceiling with a low floor is almost, you make one LAN, I feel like, and then you never make it again, or something like that. It depends on the level of team, I guess. It's hard. So what is high floor? Like you're making every LAN, but you're placing top 12, or
I think you're like a 5 to 8 team maybe.
Yeah, I would take that. That's a career.
Yeah.
That's a long
First killer
career.
versus over zero. First killer versus Remco. Well, Remco he was pretty high floor for most of his career as well. And
Remco was he was around since, like, it's hard to explain to people who weren't around for the pre-RLCS days even, but yeah, players like Remco, they were already like winning back in the really early days of Rocket League, like winning small tournaments was a big deal. It was actually like they were the big tournaments. Winning a small tournament was, everybody's watching it on Twitch. All the Rocket League viewers are watching it. Everybody's talking about it. There's Reddit threads, like power rankings being adjusted because of a weekly event that happened. So like, players who had that and then also did well in the bigger tournaments pre-RLCS and then also did well in RLCS, world champion, 2-time top 3 before that. Also, I think, he won an E-League a whole year and a half later. Yeah, Remco had a lot of longevity. It's not really like that, he did both. He had a long career, but a long time ago.
Basically,
yeah.
I think we all just want to be JNAPs. Give us a longevity, baby. There you go. All right, well, GG's, that's it from the Patreon queues. That's it from our predictions. Let us know in the comments if you guys did enjoy that episode, and let us know if you're looking forward to the post RLCS weekend. I guess like first thoughts, review, kind of recap, whatever you call it. Should be good. And we'll run it this weekend. So make sure you tune in for that straight after Champ Sunday. RLCS for North America will be live and giving you guys all of our live reactions. But that's it from episode 108. Thanks everyone for hanging out. And we might throw a raid over to Fear. I think we got some 1v1 cash cups finishing up. So throw a raid over.
Do we also do that? I always forget. Do we type that or does you?
I don't know. If I type /raid, will this?
Let's see what happens. Is
it just Fear?
Maybe
just me.
I'll have to do it. Have you done it already?
I've done it.
Okay, I think we all have to /raid Fear. All right.
Okay, everyone /raid. All right.
We'll see you guys soon.
Let's do it. All right. I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.